This is what an interstitial ad looks like. Essentially, that's the fancy word for an ad that takes up the entire screen. Now, you might ask, why would you ever want to put an ad over the entire screen, as that frequently annoys users? The answer is that it usually results in higher monetization because an advertiser is willing to pay for better engagement. So right here you can see that this test integration ad actually has an inline video, which is a feature of our new SDK, 3.5 actually, but that's pretty cool. So in order to avoid annoying your users, we're going to cover some best practices in the next video about when to use interstitial ads, but right now we're just going to implement them. So we're going to go ahead and use the same request object that we did before. Let's pull up this Titanium project we were just using. So here's our request object and the single ad, the display ad 320 by 50 that we had before. And we're going to create an interstitial view. So I'm just going to copy and paste from the tutorial to show you that it works. So as you can see here, it's basically the same thing, just with a lot less parameters. So we are using the same InMobi app ID, and we're using the same request object. What we do have to do, though, another difference between an interstitial ad and a banner ad is that interstitial ads are event-driven, where banner ads are view-driven. So remember the first project, we loaded up the view and that displayed an ad. An interstitial ad, since it takes up the entire screen, requires an event. So what we're going to go ahead and do is add an event listener here. This is actually the event listener for when we call the ad. And basically what this says is that the ad request loaded and that we're going to show it. And remember, it's going to be event-based because it's going to happen at times like the end of a level or at the click of a button or for a load screen. So there's always going to be a user-called event that drives the ad. Let's go ahead and create a button to make that event happen. We're going to do it on window 2 since we already played around with window 1. Really simple button, show ad. And then add the event listener to that button. Go ahead and make sure that it calls that function we just wrote, load new ad, which writes to the console, as well as actually calling it, showing the ad. And then go ahead and add those two elements to your window. Let's go ahead and run again the iPhone simulator. Okay, great. Remember, the whole point here is to just show you that the tutorial works and how easy it is to get an ad up and running in your application. So this is the same as the first application. So the first screen will have that banner ad, theoretically, right there. So this is the InMobi banner ad. Click to expand. We've seen this in the first tutorial. Here we have our show ad button. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And there we go. We have the interstitial ad right there, loaded right up, and took over the whole screen. We can close it again. So that's how easy it is to load an interstitial ad. The next video we'll cover is best practices for when to use ads, and particularly how to use interstitial ads to enrich your monetization but not annoy your users. Thanks.